Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Nathanias here, bringing you another cast. It's going to be a Terran versus Zerg. Well, let's just introduce these players first. Spawning in the bottom left position is going to be our red Terran. Coming in from Root Gaming, it is TvZ. And in the top right position as our blue Zerg player coming in from Quantic.MaSsan, it is MaSsan. So if you guys aren't familiar with these dudes, MaSsan on the Quantic A team, very, very good when it comes to North American Zergs, among the top tier. Super smart player, streams a lot, and so does his opponent actually, TvZ. So both of these players known as being among the better side of the North American scene for up-and-coming players. So should be a really good game here on Daybreak, of course. If you guys not too familiar with me, I am Nathanias, and I'm going to be doing a lot more of these casts from replay packs. So, just trying to bring you guys as much StarCraft 2 content as I can. Hopefully you enjoy this game. Hopefully it's a good game. All casts on my YouTube channel are done cold, so I have no idea what's going to happen in this game. So, this should be a good one either way. TvZ, of course, in Heart of the Swarm, we've seen a lot of Bio Widowmine play. Mech fallen off a bit, especially in the pro scene, but TvZ could do anything. It looks like he's setting himself up for a command center first, has a couple of SCVs queued, and MaSsan, of course, gonna open with a fast spawning pool. So this is something that MaSsan actually does really stylistically. He's not known for going for early pool cheeses. MaSsan very, very often will go for a 14 or 15 pool. He generally plays more towards the macro side of things. He likes to push for really, really late game scenarios, so it's not uncommon for him to open with the pool at about 14 or 15 supply just so he can survive any kind of 2-racks play. He really, really focuses on the late game side, and he will be starting the spawning pool as well as going for a drone scout. So TvZ going with the command center first, though. He's walled off, he's putting it on the high ground, he's getting his barracks, so he's not going to be vulnerable to any kind of fast zergling play. Of course, the Overlord will scout that he has a relatively late barracks if he chooses to scout the ramp, but no, MaSsan's going to bring the Overlord home. The drone scouts around for any kind of proxy play, but he's not actually going to know about the CC first just yet. He wants to see if there's a command center, knows there's nothing here yet, so he's not 100% sure, but TvZ is going to follow this up with gas, and he's not doing anything crazy, but with this wall, even if he wanted to make Zerglings, he'd be fine, and MaSsan's not even going to make any Zerglings just yet, still building drones, building up his queens, so very, very not quite as standard, but it's he's looking like he wants to play macro. He's not gotten a fast gas to abuse the spawning pool timing. So TvZ comes in with his SCV, sees, okay, well, that hatchery is a tiny bit late. You have a queen out, you have the spawning pool, so he might be preparing himself for possible aggression coming out of MaSsan. MaSsan's going to actually pick off the scouting SCV, so good catch there. But with this wall, TvZ is fine. He kind of recognizes, okay, well, there's not any crazy number of Zerglings here. He may try to start his bunker before he really goes to take the natural, though, just in case. But now we have that natural hatchery done. The queen is already prepared. We have another one about to pop out here in the main base for MaSsan to get those injects rolling. And the Marine is down here. TvZ sporting his mercenary Marine skin, of course, making his Marines twice as badass. And he's going to move down this natural expansion, so neither player doing anything ridiculous to start this game off. MaSsan cutting a tiny bit of economy to get the pool, but it's not really a huge deal. Bunker is going up now, as well as a factory, so we'll likely see him start a reactor with this next 50 gas, and boom, there it is. So TvZ could be heading into basically any kind of play out of this. Oftentimes you see a fast third command center since there's only one gas geyser, and then a couple Hellions, stim, engineering bays, a lot of bio play, which has basically become the staple in Terran versus Zerg. So we will see that third command center from TvZ, and at this point MaSsan, he could go for a fast third hatchery, but it looks like he wants to take 2 gas geysers in his natural, not the main base. So this could open up the opportunity for him to go for some fast roach play. He can go for possibly a really quick lair, but it looks more like this is going to be for possible early upgrades, and it will be a roach warren, so he looks like he wants to go for some 2-base roach pressure. So this has been increasingly popular among Zerg players for Terrans that just don't open up with tanks too often anymore, and especially when you go for these greedy triple command center builds. So TvZ has 1 supply depot up for his wall. First couple Hellions are coming out relatively soon, but behind this, MaSsan's going to take a 3rd hatchery, so he doesn't want to go completely all in with this, but keep in mind, he could also use this hatchery with a queen just for injections, basically abusing it like it's a macro hatchery and not actually droning up. But TvZ does have a couple of Hellions out on the field now. He will be able to go over and scout out what MaSsan is up to. But the Roachborn could just be purely for defensive purposes since he is continuing to produce drones. He has the lair coming in now, and he's going to take 2 gas geysers in his main base. So MaSsan is just playing this game really, really safe. The lair's the natural as well, and this is going to increase, of course, the number of hit points of this hatchery. So he's not going to be able to snipe off this base with the 2-base timing, and Hellions do scout that 3rd base. He gives a little bit of poke with those flamethrowers, and 2 more Hellions come out. So TvZ is going to have to switch into those double engineering base. He has the stim coming, and he's only going to make these 4 Hellions. He could make a couple of defensive Widow Mines, and now he does have them queued up. So it does look like TvZ wants to play this a very, very macro-oriented style. This is something that just becomes so popular among Terran players in the current metagame, and it's also what's made 2-base Roach or Baneling bust so strong, abusing the lack of siege tanks. But we also have Nathanias Carapace coming in from MaSsan, so this is going to give his Overlords a bit of extra speed. He's going to be able to use this to scout out. He can, of course, spread his Overlords in the air a bit more effectively, and TvZ is right now just kind of roaming around, checking for anything, any possible Zerglings that are laid around the map, and of course these Roaches are going to be able to shove away and take this tower quite easily. TvZ, though, he's going to move down, take this 3rd command center, and he doesn't really have too much here to defend it if MaSsan was moving in with some kind of Zergling attack, but at this time he's getting his 1-1. He doesn't really have too much to run around the map and be offensive with. He's now just getting his Zergling speed and Aspire. So MaSsan could be looking to go for a Ling Baneling Mutalisk play and just get the Roaches purely to stop the Hellions. But no Baneling Nest just yet for MaSsan, so he might just be relying on pure Ling Muta for now. Overlord does get in and scout all these barracks coming in for TvZ. He is going to be moving into a very heavy bio play, using this factory to build another reactor now, and Stim is completing, so TvZ is in a somewhat reasonable defensive posture. Now he's going to build a bunker at his 3rd base, keep that extra safe, and the Hellions are just running around trying to deny the creep tumors of MaSsan. Baneling Nest now finally coming in, and just poking away. The Queen will be able to shove him off, though. He cannot kill these creep tumors, and he would need to scan for that. So TvZ is a bit of pressure is thwarted for now, but at least laying 1 active tumor is pretty significant as far as tiny pressure goes. But MaSsan now has the Overlord speed. He can go creep up the extra expansions pretty quickly. 1-1's going to finish first for TvZ, but he doesn't have an armory yet, so it will complete soon. It's actually going to be perfectly timed for this 2-2 to start, so good catch here for TvZ. He's used that factory to build the reactor for the starport now. He's got additional reactors coming in. He's going to go for a very marine-heavy, almost pure reactor style on these barracks, just churn out a ton of bio. And we should see another reactor on this factory, and so, yeah, there it is. So he'll likely move into this bio Widowmine style. That's just basically completely dominating this matchup right now. A lot of Zerg players having difficulty dealing with Widowmines, but you have Bert coming in as well as Zerg Flyer Carapace, so he wants these Mutalisks to be able to be very, very hardy versus the Marines. Roaches will be able to shove away these couple of Hellions, but Mutalisks are going to come out now, and MaSsan's going to be in a relatively decent position to put on some pressure. TvZ doesn't actually have too much in the way of missile turrets for defense, but he does have a couple of Widow Mines positioned to try to catch any Mutalisks that fly by. Nothing in the natural, though. And of course, 3rd base does have this bunker with 2 Marines and a Marauder to be able to hold off basically any kind of Zergling aggression. And TvZ is starting a 4th command center pretty early, so a lot of macro focus in this game. 2+2 attack now started for MaSsan as well as that Carapace. So both of these players are really, really macroing hard. 4th hatchery is done for MaSsan. He's going to be able to drone this up pretty quickly. Infestation Pit coming in as well. So MaSsan's looking like he wants to do what he always does basically, which is focus on the late game, focus on the macro aspect of things, and really, really abuse his injections to get up a super large late game army composition. And TvZ is going to come up with some Marines and Marauders trying to kill a couple of this creep tumors. The Zerglings getting behind the force, trying to hold him in position. The Banelings come in. He will be able to pick off a couple of the Marines here, but the medevac will be able to pick up the rest. And he will ignite Afterburners his way to safety. But the Mutalisks as well, he's not made a lot of them. 5 more are about to come out, and these seem... He really wants to get his drone count up and get a ton of mining going before he tries to really apply some pressure. And you almost could say that MaSsan's playing this almost too passively. He's allowing TvZ to get away with a lot. These mutas right here. Oh my goodness, this medevac. He might be able to get this medevac off into MaSsan's base. These Marines and Marauders are trying to deal with these guys right now. MaSsan burning a couple of Banelings. He will miss this drop though. And that could do a lot of damage to him. The Roach Link Force catching up to him at the mine, getting a decent hit off, killing about 12 of those Zerglings. And it looks like this 4th hatchery could go down. The mutas are headed over to defend this, but the hatchery dropping below half health. He needs to deal with this now. Medevac does die. He stims again, trying to finish this off. The Marauder, it's so low, 74 hit points on this hatchery. At the same time, 3 medevacs headed over into the main base of MaSsan with the Widow Mines as well. The Zerglings are here to catch this, but they are not enough to completely thwart this. Now more Zerglings coming in, and TvZ will have to pull out, but those Widow Mines get a ton of Zergling kills. 26 kills on this Widow Mine, definitely the Commander Widow Mine. It's not even a sentient being, and it is of a higher rank than most of MaSsan's units. So Overseer does come in. He will be able to pick off these mines, but at the same time, TvZ is preparing to take this 4th base. He has the command center moving in. It will be able to become a planetary fortress, and plus 3/3 is coming in for TvZ. He has a second factory. He can get drilling claws for his Widow Mines. Right now, he's got what 1, 2, 3, 4 tech labs on these barracks, which is really going to allow him to deal with this Ultralisk transition that's going to come out from MaSsan with his Hive Tech. Now, the Mutalisks, of course, are good at shutting down this drops. He might be able to catch a couple of these medevacs on the left side for free. They're separated from the army, but no, he's going to be able to get away. One medevac in the bottom middle is going to be caught here, though. MaSsan should be able to pick this off, no big deal, but the Marines and Marauders are coming down on the south side of this map. At the same time, he's pushing in towards the center, catching a couple of these Banelings. The Mutalisks can't fight the pure Marine force right now with the 2/2 upgrades. MaSsan does have his +1 Carapace on the Mutalisks, but that's not going to be quite enough to take a straight-on fight. We also have TvZ with quite a few Widow Mines here. He's going to move them in, though. The Mutalisks trying to engage here with these Roach Banelings. A lot of Roaches to support, and the Banelings getting out some decent connections, but the split too good from TvZ. He is taking this engagement quite well so far, winning quite handily now, and TvZ pushing forward. MaSsan, 3 Ultralisks on the way, 11 Banelings, trying to produce some Zerglings, but his money's not terribly high. That base is weak. The Banelings trying to burrow in a good position. He's going to step right on top of it. Ooh, a great explosion for MaSsan, taking out quite a few of these Marines. Almost able to hold this off completely, and now, with all the Marines dead, the Marauders will be good against the Roaches, but the Mutalisks can thwart the rest of this. You'll have to use Ignite Afterburners to get away, but enough of these Marines and Marauders are coming up. The Banelings are going to be hit on these units, but there's not too much for them to kill at this point. MaSsan stepping forward now, but TvZ has his Marine and Marauder force ready in a defensive posture. Supply evening out, though. MaSsan doing what he can to bring this game close, but with so much Marauder production, 3 now at a time for TvZ, he's going to be pretty solid against these Ultralisks. MaSsan with the Collector's Edition Ultralisks of Doom here is going to be looking to take now a 5th base. It is complete. We'll try to get some drones over there. The main base is going to be running dry relatively soon. He still has about a couple minutes worth of mining there, but yeah, TvZ adding on a ton of production. He's getting a 5th command center now in the center. He actually already has a 6th one, so he's looking very, very sharp. These medevacs trying to find a place to dart in and do some drops. The 3/3 now complete for TvZ. 3/3, though, just barely started for MaSsan, so he's actually really, really behind in upgrades, and this is a great timing. Oh, he has single Banelings Burrow, but not quite enough to actually kill this Bioforce. And, well, right now, MaSsan, he's behind in upgrades. He's looking a little bit weak, but he does get a good catch here of these forces from TvZ. He might try to press forward. He needs to be very careful and mindful of those Widow Mines. And in terms of the amount of damage they can do, there is a mine now inside of MaSsan's 4th base, just kind of being annoying, and a drop in the main. He's got some Marines and Marauders trying to poke away at this Gas Geyser, but the Zergling Mutalisk will catch this. At the same time, MaSsan pushing in towards the center. The Ultralisks are in position. He's taking quite a bit of heat on some of these. The Widow Mines have burrowed. MaSsan baiting the attacks out with his Zerglings, but really, really losing a lot of Banelings there, and TvZ will just lift up and get out of there, but there are these mines positioned precariously. Spinecrawler able to kill him, though, with the support of this Spore Crawler, and TvZ can't really advance much farther forward with these mines. He's going to try to catch this Bioforce. There's no mines to defend this clump. The Zerglings are swarming him now. He does have the 3/3 almost halfway done. He doesn't have the Adrenal Glands upgrade, though, and he's going to retreat to this Planetary Fortress, and MaSsan could be pushing in a bit too much with this. The Bioforce, with the upgrade advantage, he's not going to be able to break that Planetary, and TvZ holds quite well. MaSsan losing a lot in that engagement. Chitinous Plating coming in, though, and by the time that finishes, so shall the 3/3 of MaSsan, and he really needs to wait for these upgrades. Being behind in upgrades against the Terran player is just so significant. The Marines just shred these Zerglings like a chainsaw through butter. So the Burrowed Banelings are a reasonably nice touch. He wants to be able to catch any of the Marines that move out, but these Widow Mines get a ton of Zergling kills. Medevac is headed over towards the east side. There's a Spore Crawler and some Queens in position here with the Spine Crawler, but TvZ moving forward, he's going to take a straight engagement. These Ultralisks with no supporting units are going to go down very, very, very quickly. especially with that upgrade disadvantage, and Theognis taking such a huge fight. He's defeated the main army of MaSsan down to 120 supply. MaSsan doesn't have too much. He's trying to make some Zerglings, trying to get some more Ultralisks out, but Theognis is still maxed to drop in the main base. He's going to pick off the spawning pool of MaSsan, at the same time moving towards the bottom side with his main force. There's the GG from MaSsan, and Theognis taking the win there. So some really good control from Theognis, and MaSsan played this game possibly a bit too passively. Theognis was just greedy enough. He completely got away with that 3 command center build and the double engineering base so early on. So great play here from our Root Gaming Terran player. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the cast. If you subscribe to my YouTube channel, I'm going to try to put them out at least every other day at latest. So really appreciate you guys watching this. Of course, appreciate any comments below. Thank you and have a great day. This is Nathanias signing out.